Welcome to AmeenAcademy.com. In cognitive psychology, let us do some introduction. Cognitive psychology is the scientific investigation of human cognition, that is, all our mental abilities, perceiving, learning, remembering, thinking, reasoning, and understanding. The term cognition stems from the Latin word cognoscere, or to know. Fundamentally, cognitive psychology studies how people acquire and apply knowledge of information. It is closely related to the highly interdisciplinary cognitive science and influenced by artificial intelligence, computer science, philosophy, anthropology, linguistics, biology, physics, and neuroscience. Cognitive psychology is its modern form incorporates a remarkable set of new technologies in psychological sciences. Cognitive resolution began in mid 1950s when researchers in several fields began to develop theories of mind based on complex representations and computational procedures. Some assumptions. Cognitive psychology is based on two assumptions. First one, human cognition can, at least in principle, be fully revealed by the scientific methods. That is, individual components of mental processes can be identified and understood. Second one, internal mental processes can be described in terms of rules or algorithms in information processing models. Approaches, very much like physics, experiments and stimulations modeling are the major research tools in cognitive psychology. Often, the predictions of the models are directly compared to human behavior. With the ease of access and wide use of brain imaging techniques, cognitive psychology has been increasing influence of cognitive neuroscience over the past decades. There are currently three main approaches in cognitive psychology. That first one, experimental cognitive psychology, computational cognitive psychology, and neural cognitive psychology. Traditionally, cognitive psychology includes human perceptions, attentions, learning, memory, concept formation, reasoning, judgment, and decision making, problem solving, and language processing. For some social and cultural factors, emotion, consciousness, animal cognition, evolutionary approaches have also become part of the cognitive psychology. Now we'll discuss further details about some applications we'll do now. Cognition psychology research has produced an extensive body of principles, representations, and algorithms. Successful applications range from custom built expert system to mass produced software and consumer electronics. Development of computer interfaces that collaborate with users to meet their information needs and operate as intelligent agents. Development of flexible information infrastructure based on knowledge representation and reasoning methods. Development of smart tools in the financial industry. Development of mobile intelligent robots that can perform tasks usually reserved for humans. Development of bionic components of the perpetual and cognitive neural system, such as cochlear and retinal implants. Now, we'll discuss further detail about cognitive psychology, some introduction. This cognitive psychology have parts of this: human intelligence, language, thinking problems, memory, attention, perceptions. Cognitive psychology is the scientific study of mental process involved in acquiring, processing, and using information. It explores how people perceive, learn, remember, think, and solve problems. Essentially, it is the study of how we think. Core concepts of cognitive psychology, mental processes. Cognitive psychology focuses on internal mental processes like attention, memory, perception, language, and reasoning. Cognitive psychology is the study of mental process focusing on how people perceive, remember, think, and solve problems. It explores the internal process that connect input, that is stimuli, and output, that is a behavior. Key mental processes examined include attention, perception, memory, language, and reasoning. Some information processing. It examines how information is received, transformed, stored, and used by the mind. The information processing approach in cognitive psychology views the mind as an information processor, much like a computer that encodes, stores, retrieves, and manipulates information. This approach breaks down cognitive functions into stages, including sensory input, short term memory, and long term memory, to explain how we learn, remember, and solve problems. What is cognition? Cognition. This refers to the mental processes involved in knowing, including awareness, perception, reasoning, and judgment. Cognition refers to the mental processes involved in gaining knowledge and understanding. It includes activities like thinking, memory, and problem solving. Essentially, it's the umbrella term for all the mental operations involved in cognition. Some key area of studies in cognition psychology. First one, attention. How we focus on certain stimuli while ignoring others. Memory. How we encode, store, and retrieve information. Language. How we understand and produce language. Perception. How we interpret sensory information. Problem solving. How we find solution to challenges. Reasoning, how we draw conclusions and make inferences. Creativity, how we generate new and original ideas. Decision making, how we make choices based on available information. These are some key areas of studies. Some historical context. Cognitive psychology emerged in 1960s as a reaction to behaviorism, which largely ignored internal mental processes. Pioneers like Ulrich Neisser, George A. Miller, and Noam Chomsky significantly contributed to establishing cognitive psychology as a distinct field. Some applications. Cognitive psychology principles are applied in various fields, including education, artificial intelligence, and clinical psychology. For example, cognitive behaviorism theory (CBT) is a therapeutic approach based on cognitive psychology principles. Understanding cognitive process helps us to design better learning environments, develop more effective problem solving strategies, and create more user friendly technologies. In a sense, cognitive psychology provides a framework for understanding the complexities of human thoughts and behavior by examining the mental processes that underlie them. So far, we discussed about a cognitive psychology, some introduction. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.